Behind, a larger party widens the trail for the supplies to follow. And for protection, we work in armed groups. In jungle, you never see more than a few yards, so our safety from attack depends on the Indian's sense of hearing. He's a born instinctive hunter, and every few minutes he listens to the world of animal sound. Every 2 or 3 days, we move our supplies to a new camp closer to the cutting head. And so we advance deeper into the jungle and closer to the area which must be hunted by the Krina-Krori. They can see smoke about 8 miles away. In rainforests, there's no fire without a man. It's vital to know exactly when the Krina-Krori know about us. Vultures have picked the monkey's skull clean. The Indians say it was shot by an arrow.
Não, tem menos. Choveu ontem. Choveu ontem, né? Ontem choveu. É de ontem ou de hoje. Então eles estão aí, né? Amanhã ou depois.
Indians mark a route by breaking twigs, and it looks as if this line of twigs leads towards the Krina-Krori village. We know they're here. You become tense and nervous. But how close and where? It's a feeling that can drive you mad. It drove 2 men mad on my previous expeditions. You know it's stupid, but you're tempted to search the jungle. This is a world of camouflage, and you're watched by 1,000 eyes. Soon you've a headache from focusing and refocusing your eyes. Really search for the watchers, and you go mad. In the jungle, you must walk within your own mind. I can't see the Indian who waits to kill me, but his image lives in my head. I have known that jungle Indians won't attack an armed and waiting party ever since my first expedition, 25 years ago, when Orlando and I entered the unknown plateaus of the Roncador. The Shavanti Indians were famous for killing intruders, and we built palisades to crouch behind, and every man was armed. They screamed at us from the trees. Arrows dropped out of the sky. One man was nearly killed by a stone, and once they tried to fire the camp. On the savannah, I climbed a termite hill just in time to see a war party. But never, in 5 months, did they risk a frontal attack against armed and waiting men. And so we go deeper, and so the Krina-Krori watch and let us know they're watching. the mark of one of the clubs. This begins a long and curious process of communication. I hang up presents which they refuse, but their minds are troubled. Can a present giver be an enemy? Doubt unhinges the reflex to kill. Of course, our Indians could discover their camp and I could walk in with presents. But I learnt that mistake 12 years ago when we found a camp of the unknown Chikang tribe. Indians are usually more alert, but that day, in the summer of 1956, I almost walked up to the first hammock. That's the last I saw of them for 8 years. Indians must find presents alone and without pressure. They are the opium of civilization and will create needs in the taker that can only be satisfied by the giver. And so we let them watch and ponder what they see as we crawl along our narrow tunnel. Like ants, we pursue a distant goal. Our eyes are blind to the watching universe around. Nobody who has not lived in forest can understand our relief at reaching the other river. It's not just the expedition's next means of transport, it's our first view. To clear an airstrip like this with stone axes would take the Krianakori 20 times as long. So such a climbing pillar of smoke will be seen by them as the banner of a new power, the coming of a kingdom that must destroy and replace their own.
The plane flies in men and supplies, and Orlando arrives to supervise the final approach. From the air, presents are dropped on the Krianakori village, only 30 miles away. The presents are tied to balloons. It makes them less lethal to the Indians below. This starts the final raising of the pressure that must soon force a decision. As the village is entered, the men below will either have to run, fight, or make friends. But their reply now is, as always, indecisive. Two enigmatic pillars of smoke.
Because of the Krina Krori, no canoe, white or Indian, has ever moved on this river before. Of course, they could kill a few of us now while we're helpless, but I'm certain they won't. Our job is not to win fights, but to forestall them. So we have 40 men armed with guns, and that's like an armored division in the jungle.
A não sentiu nada ainda. Esse é mais velhinho, né? Quer dizer que eles moram perto, eles vêm sempre aqui, né? Uma prova.
Ah, que boneco aí tem?
Recente mesmo, é de agora.